Okay, now in this video we're going to be talking about alkanes. Now, essentially they're the same as we're going to be talking about alkenes in this video, and they're essentially the same as alkanes, but you'll notice that they have double bonds. Now, what this means is that there will be some change in the way you name them. Now, like for instance, this first one here, you would think, oh, well, I'm just going to name it one in any way you want. Like start here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and it'd be a nonene, which you'd be correct. Would be a nonene. But what you would be incorrect in assuming would be the numbering order. Now, what makes this different is that since alkenes have double bonds in them, you have to consider those when naming them. So you want to give those double bonds the lowest possible number. So you can't start there. You have to start over here, where 1, 2, 3, 4 would be the beginning of the double bond, and 5 would be the end. Then 6, 7, 8, 9. Whereas you would have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 be the beginning and 6 be the end, which you can't have. That would be wrong. And that's mostly for clarification, but also oh, sorry about that. Oh my gosh. Here we go. Alright. I'm sorry about that. Now, one thing is, when naming these, you have to indicate where exactly that double bond is. So when you do that, that's where the 4 and 5 come in handy, or when they're important, because it'll tell you where it starts. So we know that it starts at 4. So here, what you're going to do is you're going to rewrite this as non-4-ene. The 4 meaning that's where the beginning of the double bond starts. The 5, well, it's not really all that important, but the 4 is the most important bond there. Now, for the next one here, we can start either in this corner, or this corner. The thing to consider is which one will give your double bond the lowest number. So clearly, just by looking at it, you'll know to start here at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's going to be pentane. And you want to indicate, well, it could be implied that you could write it like this and it would be correct, just in terms of the double bond. But if you want, you can include that one right between the pens and the ene right here. That's just if you want to. Since it starts at 1, it's implied that it starts at 1 if you write it in this manner. But you're not done, because you still have this little methyl group here, which comes off this carbon 2. So we'll finish by doing 2-methyl pentene. Simple enough. Now, next one over here, you have multiple options. Just by looking at it, you know you'll want to give double bonds the lowest one, but you have 2. You can start here or you can start here. Now, I'm pretty sure it doesn't really matter where you start, so long as you give at least one of them the lowest. So let's just start over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry. So this will be a hexene, and you'll have, in naming this, you have one that starts at 1, one that starts at 3, and one that starts at 5. So you can write 1, 3, 5, and then you can write your ene. But you have these 2 methyl groups over here, so like before, you'll add on the 3, and these methyl groups go off at 3 and 4, so 3, 4, and dimethyl, because we have 2 of them. 2, di, 2, di. Let's just get rid of that. Restart this. Alright. So 3, 4 dimethyl, which would go right here. And that's alkene, which, like I said, it was pretty simple. Moving on to alkyne. Now, as you can see here, it's just the same as alkene and alkane, but with one more bond. Now, and you would name it the same way you would an alkene, which, here you go, 1, oops, sorry, this again, 1, 2, 3, so it's going to be a, let's see, what is it going to be, a propane, I think, yeah, it's going to be propyne, so let's see, and then the bond starts here at 2, this one over here. You could also start at 1, 2, 3 and have it be over here, but I don't believe it matters. So, and actually, when I found this picture, I could have assumed that maybe these were hydrogen, so, but maybe not. Let's just skip that part. Alright, never mind. It's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, if I'm looking at it right. Which could also have been numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, because either way you'll have 2 as the beginning. Sorry. Out of it and all. But, so, what you're going to do is, you know that it's going to be butane, not propyne, so. And you'll indicate that the 2, so but2 ine. Now for triple bonds, there are some differences when it comes to the types of triple bonds. For instance, this could be called a terminal, this would be an example of a terminal alkyne. Pronunciation's gonna be hard because of the way that it sits here, because it's all just in one straight line. In alkyne and in alkene and alkane, the bonds, the single and double bonds, could have been bent at an angle, such as here, here, here. This could be single, they all could be single bonds, and the double bond could have been here. But with triple bonds, there's going to be any kind of bond here, triple bond, then any kind of bond here, because triple bonds will not bend. So what that means is here, you won't ever, or rather you should never see something like this. This does not exist. And if you see it somewhere, it's lying to you. And there's different kinds like that. I mean, no, there isn't. Sorry. So essentially, whenever there's a triple bond present, it's always going to be 180 degrees. You won't ever see a bent at an angle, or rather, you shouldn't, according to everything I've learned so far. This is correct. This is not, as previously indicated. But otherwise, all the other rules that I've told you in alkene and alkane still apply to this. So you shouldn't have any problems when mixing any of these up. But yeah, they're always going to be like this. And actually, let me just draw up a quick example. I hope you're taking notes, because you should be. But let's see, let's get rid of these unnecessary numbers. You know what that is, and you don't need this anymore. Let's clear up some space. Alright, let's draw something like here. Alright, notice that this is still at a 180-degree angle, so it's perfectly content with everything I've told you. And like I told you with the alkene, you want to give this the lowest possible number, so you'll start 1 here, and over here's a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, making that longest chain. So it's 7, so you know it's going to be, I'm sorry, heptyne, and the triple bond starts at 2, so 2, and then you have these 2 methyl groups, so 5,6 methyl. So it's going to be 5,6 methyl 2 heptyne. Heptyne. Or you could also have written it 5,6. Oh, sorry. Really missed this one. Dimethyl. There's a little dimethyl since there's 2 of them. 5,6 dimethyl. Hept 2 ine. And that's just another way of writing it. So just remember that. With alkyne, and you're always going to want that 180-degree angle right there. And all the other rules of an alkene also apply with numbering, giving it the lowest possible number you can, and whichever way you want to write like that.